Tonight on 2020, September 14th, 2007. A John Stossel special. An eye-opening hour about you and your health care.
Who's going to take care of me?
Americans are scared. So isn't Canada better?
You want an MRI? No problem. Free as the air.
But does free care have a catch?
Animals in Canada get far better care than human beings.
Which leads to a showdown. John Stossel versus Michael Moore.
That's the reason they're living longer in Canada.
You are like so 13th century. I love this.
Are there ways to make your health care better?
At last, I can spend the money the way I want to spend it.
Plus, could health insurance have a downside?
What if you had grocery insurance? I'll just buy everything.
A checkup you shouldn't miss. Sick in America. Whose body is it anyway? And now, John Stossel.
Hello and welcome to 2020. Elizabeth Vargas is off tonight. The next hour affects every one of us because it's about health care. Tonight we ask some provocative questions about your health care. We get some surprising answers. Most everyone agrees America's healthcare system is a mess. Costs for everything are out of control.
What we have is a dysfunctional healthcare system in the United States of America.
Costs continue to go up.
It makes me angry. I'm getting ripped off.
Ripped off, some say, by drug companies.
I said to the pharmacist, if I paid for this myself, how much would it cost? And she said, $4,602 for 1 month.
Some Americans feel so ripped off, they now travel abroad, even to third world countries.
I went to Malaysia and got a new hip for $8,000.
Many blame America's high costs on insurance companies and their well-paid executives.
Their motive is understandably profit.
I just think it's greed, to tell you the truth.
Others blame doctors and their pursuit of profit.
You can't have for-profit with people that are sick. I see doctors pulling into the parking lots, the doctors' parking lots at the hospitals with $45,000 Lexus. What are they doing? They're taking money from sick people.
Lord, deep breathing.
What are doctors doing? Many won't even answer your email. Strangely, in a century when even children use computers, doctors and hospitals often don't.
Why don't doctors use email?
Why don't we use email? Why don't we use the telephone?
This doctor says he and his colleagues have no incentive to use email.
Why would they?
Because it's efficient. It's a nice way to ask quick questions.
Tough. The federal government has a list of 7,500 procedures it will pay for. The telephone's not on the list. Neither is email. Not even storing your records on computer.
Yet some people want the government to direct more of our health care.
Are you ready for universal health care for every single man, woman, and child?
Hello? Michael Moore's ready for that. Moore's new film, Sicko, is an attack on health insurance companies. Here he says they corrupt Congress.
4 healthcare lobbyists for every member of Congress. Here's what it costs to buy these men and this woman.
The American healthcare system is a mess, says Harvard Business School professor Regina Hertzlinger. And yet, healthcare could be good.
Healthcare is vibrant and living. It's great. It's full of great doctors and great hospitals and great scientists and great medicines and great technologies, and it's been killed.
Killed, she says, because other people spend our healthcare dollars for us.
It's the insurers. They have our money. We don't know how much of it they have. It's the hospitals. You go to a hospital, you have no idea what it costs.
Employers aren't happy with their end of the deal either. GM now spends more on health insurance than on steel. And why is our employer buying our insurance anyway? 2/3 of us get our health insurance through our employer. People think it's a good thing. They're covered. But does it make sense? Healthcare tied to your job? That ties you to your job. What if you leave your job? For 10 years, Vicki Redling got health insurance from the North Carolina furniture company where she worked. But then she quit to sell real estate.
I've reached top sale associate of the month twice so far this year.
She bought a temporary insurance policy to cover her while she shopped for an individual health plan. But then she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
So then they did a lumpectomy, and I had 35 rounds of radiation, and now I take oral chemo every day for 5 years. It's a little pill.
And that's expensive.
That little pill's $300.
Vicki called her temporary insurance company to make sure that coverage would continue.
And I said, listen, I'm on insurance. I've got it, but I just found out I have breast cancer, but I'm okay, right? And they said, no. I said, what do you mean, no? They said, you're done.
Vicki's temporary insurance was about to expire.
I didn't realize how wonderful that insurance card was. It's like holding the golden ticket.
If you try to tie health insurance to the workplace, we're going to help people losing their health insurance every time they change and lose jobs.
Grace Marie Turner of the Galen Institute, which studies free market solutions to health care, says it's crazy to lock health care to a job.
4 in 10 Americans change their jobs every year.
And many, like Vicki, lose their insurance when they do.
3 different hospitals, radiology, radiation.
Now Vicki has to pay her bills out of her pocket.
It's just so much.
Vicki did try to find new insurance, but with a pre-existing condition, cancer, she was either turned down or offered a policy that cost $27,000. With an income of $60,000 and twin sons in college, Vicki felt she couldn't afford it. So now she gets by with no insurance.
Do you happen to have your insurance cards with you? I do not have insurance.
Do the doctors and hospitals treat you differently when you don't have health insurance?
I feel like I'm dirt when I tell them I don't have an insurance card.
Now, Vicki could have quit her job and spent her assets down until she qualified for free care under Medicaid. But she and her fiancé, Tim, wouldn't consider that.
Well, God, I guess we could just sell everything, rent, and then say, well, we've got bankrupt on you.
Then Medicaid would pay.
Yeah. Or we hide our assets and let the system make dishonest people of us, which we're not going to do.
Take some good breaths in.
Today, Vicki goes to a doctor only when she has to. She only takes drugs that are absolutely necessary.
And don't find anything. When you're at the doctor, you're so desperate for them not to find anything because you don't know what you do. What's going to happen to me if my cancer comes back?
Do you, Tim, promise to love and to cherish in sickness and in health, in prosperity and in...
Today, Vicki is marrying Tim, but the day is bittersweet. Now if she gets sick, Tim will share her debts, and he has a heart condition. When his temporary insurance expires, they'll both be uninsured.
You may now kiss your bride.
If one of us gets sick or has a horrible tragedy, we'll go broke.
Nobody should go through this. I feel like I fall in this really deep hole, and it's so dark. It's so scary, I just don't know.
Who should decide whether you live or die? You want a health insurer to decide who's going to make that decision. Is it going to be a government? Is it going to be an insurer? Or is it going to be you and me?
When 2020 returns, health insurance. Have we gone too far? What if we had grocery insurance?
Why buy hamburger? I'll just buy steak. My insurance company's paying.
Next.